I'm Watson, I'm 22, I'm from Nottingham. A lot of the discussion so far seems to have been about a cap on numbers as opposed to a cap on quality. The question I wanted to sort of pose to the members here is, are we talking about a cap on how many are coming in? If there are 100 doctors sort of on our shorelines, as it's being made out that there are we letting 50% in, or are we saying, look, these guys are doctors, they can add to our economy, therefore we're going to let them in? A second point I'd like to make is that we have a large structural unemployment in this country with lower skilled workers or lower skilled jobs. And if there are workers that are prepared to come into this country from whatever country that may be, then we should welcome them with open arms. If they're there to fill a vacancy, and whether it be whatever their nationality is, I don't see why at the minute we're sort of arguing over whether they should be allowed in or not.
Amelia Womack, that's pretty much the Greens' policy, isn't it? Fairly much open house?
I mean, we don't actually believe in an open borders policy, but we don't believe in arbitrary figures as well. But I really want to bring up a lot of these points that have been made, because you need to take responsibility for the language that we're using around migration at the moment. But we've had such negative language that on the doorsteps we do continually hear. You open the door and the first thing that people say, well, it's all of the immigrants, isn't it, that's causing the problems. But when you actually break that down, it's clear that people are worried about things they should genuinely be worried about. Housing, for example. As a result of failure of building enough social housing, we are now in a housing crisis. The NHS, as due to lack of investment, then we have an NHS that is struggling. And things like jobs, but we've seen so many cuts to our public services and job losses that we cannot continue to blame immigrants for the failures of governments and the failures of government policy.
All right. Well, you mentioned the NHS.